everybody? We are back. It is Tape to Launch. Favorite is podcast. Favorite is channel. Favorite is everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL for me, at mholder95 for Matt, and of course, pandasubs.com. Discount code TDL for 35% off. All right. So, Matt, we are back with the Browns film preview. We're doing the Browns today. A lot of, not a lot of confidence going in this game, especially with Max Crosby and Devontae Adams going out. That has really lowered the confidence in fans this game. But it's not going to be an easy one. But I think there's a way they can get points on offense in this game. They just gotta. We'll see if it actually happens, but there's a way.
there's a way.
There is a way. I'm trying to show there's a way to beat these guys, but I think just at every position they have like a stud. So you got Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Then you got Owusu Kamara, and then you got Denzel Ward. Right, and I even think Grant Delpit's pretty good in the box. I don't know about how good he is in space, but he's pretty damn good in the box. So they have really good players on like every level on defense. So it's gonna be an interesting matchup. So what'd you see from the offense?
Yeah, so I think one of the things that obviously missing Max Crosby hurts. I was kind of hoping that was when I originally put together this preview and all these clips. I was kind of thinking he might be playing. I know he's doubtful, but seems more like, Antonio Pierce said in the press conference he was out, and then just listed him as doubtful, maybe to give himself a 5% chance or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was kind of hoping that Max would be in because the Giants really beat up the Browns in the trenches. Like they took it to them pretty well. Like we'll see a bunch of that. And I think part of the good news is it wasn't even like their stars. Like Brian Burns had a good game. Dexter Lawrence had a good game. Thibodeau had some good plays too. But even like the guys that were like coming off the bench were having a lot of success in it against them. And I think part of it, and a big part of it, is the one silver lining is the Browns are also really beat up. If you look at the injury report, it looks like there was CVS receipt for both teams. Like Browns, I think, are down both their starting tackles. And if that means DeJuan Jones is playing, we'll take a look at that. That's good news for the Raiders. I think even a guy like Tyree Wilson can beat DeJuan Jones around the edge. And why they put Wyatt Teller on injured reserve this week too. So they're missing at least 3 starters up front. And like it was very clear last week that they weren't on the same page, and it was 5 guys who aren't really used to playing with each other. And I think if the Raiders can do certain things and take stuff from the Giants' game plan, they can have success up front. So, this might be another low-scoring game where it's not exactly the most exciting, but I definitely think they can win on the trenches on that side of the ball. And if you look at how last week's game unfolded, like I think both the Browns like scores, or at least one of them, both their touchdowns came off short fields where like the Giants fumbled the opening kickoff and stuff like that. So offensively, they're kind of a mess too. And then you add in Deshaun Watson's struggles too. So there's definitely an opportunity to still win this game, even if they are beat up. Because again, both teams have long injury reports and have several key players out this week.
Yeah, the whole Browns team is on the injury report basically, and then they have Jack Conklin out, and Njoku's out too. Jedrick Willis is out.
Yeah, Njoku's out. Yeah,
Njoku's out too. They're not very deep on the offensive side of the ball right now. So that's why it's going to be like, I texted you, this game's going to be like 13-10. Because that's how it feels like when I was watching this. But there, like I said, there is a path for the Raiders to beat this team because they play so much man. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And if you stay away from Denzel Ward and you attack some of the other guys, you're going to get some man coverage. We're going to get Trey Tucker against press coverage. You're going to get Jacoby Myers against press coverage. You're going to get Brock Bowers against press coverage. And I think, with Michael Mayer out, we're probably going to see mostly 11 this week. We're going to see them try to get the ball to Brock Bowers' hands, hopefully. They really don't have a choice, and, you don't have to force the ball to Devontae Adams this week. So I think we're going to see a lot of Jacoby Myers against one-on-one coverage. We know he can win. Trey Tucker against press coverage. I've showed that a lot. We know he can win deep against press coverage. Brock Bowers, He's already shown he can beat press coverage in the NFL. So that's where this game is going to be won, because I don't know if they're going to be able to run the ball. I'm gonna keep it real. I think,
That's really going on a limb. The worst rushing offense in the NFL by 20 yards per game.
Yeah, and then you're playing against a pretty good run defense, and Travis Etienne had a good game against him, but Travis Etienne's on the Raiders, so if I had Travis Etienne, I'd feel a little better, but we don't have Travis Etienne. Let's keep it real. So I just have a feeling that they're just not gonna be able to run the ball this week, and I think watching Osu Kamara play the run really just solidify that. I think two of the guys inside. I can't think of their names right now. I looked this up before, so I didn't sound like an idiot. But like 92 and 94, they're pretty good inside. They're not bad players at all. And then you added Myles Garrett, who I'm going to do a whole section on. So the thing is with Myles Garrett, though, is he doesn't play a lot of snaps because he's a little injured, beat up too. He's not going to play a lot. But when he plays, Cole Miller's going to lose. Like, it's not really – he was beating up Andrew Thomas. So that's what I'm worried about. I'm going to show a lot of throws from Daniel Jones standing in the pocket, and Gardner Minshew's going to have to do that this week. He's going to stand in the pocket and just take a hit. But I don't know if he's going to do that. And if he tries to get away from Myles Garrett, that's not going to work. You're going to get sacked because I don't know how fast Myles Garrett is. I'm pretty sure it's like a 4.6 or something like that. He's going to catch you. So you don't run away from him. And that's what I'm scared of, because last time Gardner Minshew played Myles Garrett had 3 forced fumbles.
Not ideal.
It's just so I'm worried about that. So they got to take, when Myles Garrett's not on the field, though, they have to take advantage, because the Browns play man 40% of the time.
Damn,
they're going to play man, so they got to attack them that way. Yeah, man.
Sure. Gotta get the man beaters ready, which again, tough time to not have Devontae, but hey, someone's gonna step up. It could be the big Jacoby Myers game, or Brock Bowers. Maybe he makes a strong statement, but. Yeah, I'm curious. How do you think a guy like Bowers matches up with Joker? Do they put him on tight ends, or they use someone else? I'd imagine that would be the guy, because he's athletic as hell too.
Yeah, they're gonna put. They don't like to put him in man that much, though. Usually, when they play man to man, you're gonna get probably him matched up in the slot. He can play man though. He can guard up Bowers a little bit. But they don't. At least in the games I watched, they really didn't have him match up on somebody man to man. But Brock Bowers is a little bit different, so they might be able to put him on there. But I think Bowers can beat him though in man coverage. But that's what he is. I mean, he can play the run. He can play man coverage. I do think there's a chance that they do use him to guard Brock Bowers a little bit, and maybe see how that works. But I think you're going to get Brock Bowers on Newsome and Emerson. I think you can do that too, which you can find ways to win, just because Emerson's not Emerson. Newsome's going to play in the slot a little bit, so you can, if you get him outside one-on-one, you could be able to get that matchup with him. So you're not going to see Kamara in the slot like that. That's basically what I'm trying to say.
Gotcha. And I do feel like most teams have been playing like Bowers more like a wide receiver, which isn't so much of a surprise, but like it doesn't seem like they've been putting like linebackers on safety. It seems like they've been putting nickels, like true slot corners on him.
Yeah, exactly. So and it's Dalvin Thompson and Sam Kamara. Those guys are pretty good. Those guys aren't bad.
Dalvin's been doing it for a while.
Yeah, he's pretty damn good still. And it's Darius Smith. He's not a slouch either. But either is 54. 54 is that is Ogbo Oko Ronkan. I'm not name. The 54 is
54. We're going with 54.
54 can play. All right. All right. So let's get into this. Let's go to the offensive line first.
All right. So one of the things that the Giants did that worked really well is they did a lot of line games and stunts. Like first, let's take a look at the top of the screen here. They're going to twist these guys, and I think that's a pretty good strategy against an offensive line that's not used to playing with each other, because it tests their communication. I mean, as you can see, the end zone view doesn't, or the sideline view doesn't even do that great of a job of showing it. We'll take a look from the end zone view too. But like it basically ends up being a jailbreak where two guys break free. They bring the nickel off the edge, which was crazy, coming off of motion, and run a line game with it, which again just kind of screws with the offensive line. End up getting 3 guys at the quarterback. We'll see it here from the end zone view. Also, notice Brian Burns too. But first, let's take a look at this line game. So we're going to see Dexter Lawrence here. Like this is kind of a good example of the communication. Dexter Lawrence that works wide, Instead of passing him off, Joel Bitonio, who's probably their best offensive lineman right now, kind of sticks with them and is late. And then on top of it, Jedrick Willis, like these two guys, they should have some chemistry together, but they're not on the same page because if you look, like Bitonio kind of follows Lawrence for a while, and then Willis originally goes to go take it over. But then I think because Bitonio like stuck on it too long, he thought he was just going to take Lawrence. So then he comes off and picks up the nickel. And all of a sudden we have a 340-pound dude who has a free run at Deshaun Watson at the quarterback. And on top of it, too, Willis gets beat around the edge by the nickel.
Yeah, and Willis isn't playing. So you watch this.
Yeah, exactly. Willis isn't playing. James Houston, who's their backup swing tackle, is also banged up. He's probably going to have to play, though. And then, yeah, DeJuan Jones is normally their backup right tackle, but Conklin's out again, so he's going to play. On top of it, too, like, you're going to see a lot of this. I'll touch on this more. Please, for the love of God, take advantage of this guy, DeJuan Jones. Like, this is not a good pass rush, like, from Brian Burns, and he even gets chip help and still opens up the gate and sets a short edge for, again, 3 guys to get home on the quarterback. All right, which one we got here? Oh, yeah. So this one going to be kind of the same thing. Again, we'll watch the linebackers first from the sideline view. They're going to blitz both backers and run a little twist, which, again, creates some communication issues. Running back and the guard aren't quite on the same page. Running back's a little bit too shallow. Ends up being a free rush. This time we get 4 guys on the quarterback. And again, just kind of ended up being a melee. This was pretty frequent almost every time the Browns try to go back and pass. Like you'll see this one too. On top of it, the only thing I am a little bit worried about with the Raiders is Dexter Lawrence is unique for his size and movement skills. And I mean, John Jenkins isn't doing this, but maybe someone like Adam Butler can, where the Giants have him lined up shaded on the center in the weak A gap, and then he slants into the strong one. And he was able to beat, I think that's Pochich, I think that's how you say his name. He's normally their starting center, but he had a rough one in this game too. Like you can see, Lawrence is able to beat him across his face, which again kind of screws with the protection scheme because they're going to slide the center right and then end up beating him across his face, get away with a little hold there. But at the same time, like you can see here too, from what this little twist from by the linebackers does to the running backs. Again, just kind of a jailbreak here. And then on the edge, highlighted him on the sideline view. Again, this is Azeez Ojulari, who is a good pass rusher, but he's their third down rusher. Like we're going to see a lot of people beat DeJuan Jones. Look, watch his outside foot, dude. He goes to like vertical set or 45-degree set.
Yeah.
And he just barely gains any ground. And then open up the gate, short corner.
He's got some slow ass feet, bro. Good Lord.
Slow feet. Got 4 guys. You only got when I don't know, maybe I guess technically it's only 3, but when you get 4 out of your 5 pass rushers, 3 or 4 out of your 5 pass rushers winning consistently, you're gonna have a good day as a defensive line. This one's gonna be a somewhat similar look where they're gonna have Lawrence start shaded on the center, slant into the other A gap, and then I believe that's who is that? Elijah Chapman, undrafted rookie free agent. He's also going to slant, and then they're going to bring this walked-up linebacker. I think that's Okirike. He's going to loop around, and you'll see again it creates confusion up front. Pochich opens right. He's late to pick up Chapman or late to pass off Lawrence and pick up Chapman on the stunt. And again, creates some confusion up front. This is Teller, who again is going to be out today or out on Sunday. Not playing. And I mean, these 3, him and Pochich should have some familiarity with each other, but obviously they're not on the same page. Like he goes to pass off and pick up the linebacker. Again, center's late to pick it up because of that movement from Lawrence. And this undrafted rookie gets his first NFL sack. So even here, we don't win with 4 guys, but again, one little communication just screws up the whole line and ends up being a sack. So the Giants defensive coordinator, I forget his name. I know he comes from the Titans, but he was cooking this game. So hopefully Patrick Graham picks up on this and runs a lot of line games like we've seen the Raiders do in the past. All right. Let's see. This is going to be one of the first ones I wanted to highlight for against Jones, or not one of the first ones, but specifically call out him. Again, I know this is Brian Burns. It would have been nice to have Max Crosby, but like you can see this, like this is just not good technique at all.
Oh my gosh.
Like he's opened up the gate before he even makes contacts, and he creates a lot of short corners. Like these wide techniques give him a ton of trouble. We're going to see that pretty consistently. Like Burns just kind of wins with his get off and bend. Again, the problem is not having Crosby can be an issue, but hey, maybe even someone like Charles Snowden, I honestly think could beat DeJuan Jones if Jones is playing, because
Janarius Robinson too. Janarius Robinson could beat him
for sure. Yeah, and I mean, you do that, like you can pretty much take it to anybody, or any. I like our chances with anybody almost, but again, got to execute at the same time. I don't know if Jones is going to be playing because this game was that bad. I don't know if they'll call it someone from the practice squad and try someone else, but if he is in the game, please take advantage of him. And then on top of it too, White Teller's not playing, but I mean, you can get a push on him. I'd like to think that against a backup right guard, we could maybe collapse the pocket a little bit again. As you can see, not a ton of time for Watson to throw in this game. Going to go up against Burns again. And like, you'll see what I mean. Like, yes, I know Brian Burns is a good pass rusher, but this is not a good pass rush move. Like, he stems inside, which you don't have to do against this guy because you don't have to set himself up because he's not going to move. But he does that. I mean, DeJuan Jones actually makes the first significant contact right here. Now, Burns does do a good job of playing the hands, but like outside of that, like he just kind of wins by having a good motor. And I mean, again, having some bend, which is going to be the big question.
Just being athletic, basically.
Yeah, just being athletic, basically. Like, you don't even have to work a move. Like, you just have to be a better athlete, and DeJuan Jones just isn't a good athlete at all, so I think you can beat him. And then on top of it, too, this is against Bitonio. Again, Davidson getting some push as a bull rusher, some late push at least, be there right in the right spot once the strip sack happens. All right, now Kayvon Thibodeau. This is going to be the third guy that ends up beating DeJuan Jones. Like, you can see, like, this is not like Kayvon Thibodeau. I know he was a top 5 pick.
Yeah, but he ain't got no bend, bro. Let's keep it real. He ain't got no bend.
Yeah, like he's somewhat similar. Like, you can compare Thibodeau and Tyree Wilson. I mean, if you get this is the one that I was really talking about with these 45-degree sets. Like, he barely, like maybe 6 inches with that first step.
He just
eat the strip sack.
Thibodeau just went right around him.
Yep. Didn't even need to move.
Oh.
Again, get another sack. Watson holding that ball out. Another thing you might want to take a look at. He does like to do this thing where he doesn't tuck it away. Yeah, and even Ojulari is getting some success against Willis here, who again's not playing.
So the thing is, Watson's not gonna go down. He's gonna try to make a play. Like, he's gonna try to break a tackle. He thinks he's Superman.
For sure. And that's part of the problem he's been having this year. But all right, moving on to the run game. So this first clip, I'll be honest, I just kind of included it because I thought it was more funny. But this, and to their credit, like, this is later in the game where they were beat up. Like, if you'll notice, Bitonio is now kicked out to tackle because they were so banged up. And I don't know why they continue to try and run a QB sneak, but I just want you to watch this, like, slot receiver at post snap.
Is that a cue? What happened there?
I think I'm assuming he forgot that the snap count, and maybe he just forgot that he was supposed to play football in this play. Because I love right here, it's like oh shit, I gotta block that guy. I mean,
Dexter Lawrence destroys this play. Good Lord.
Yeah, that's the other thing, is hopefully Jenkins can do stuff like this, because good God, Pochich, like I said, supposed to be a good center. I think he's like a top $5 per year center.
Yeah.
Did not play like one in this game.
Wow.
And then on top of it, when you don't block it, when you get an unblocked guy on a QB sneak, it's not going to work out.
Wow.
Tush push won't even defeat that.
No, it won't.
The other thing the Browns like to do a lot last week, and I wouldn't be surprised if they try and do this against the Raiders, since the Raiders do have a decent defensive line and they have a lot of deficiencies up front, is they tried to run a ton of draws. Like, you'll see it here on this one. And again, like, now Wills isn't playing, but these two guys should have familiarity with each other, Bitonio and Wills, because they played together for a while and they're just not on the same page. Like, very clearly, Wills thinks Bitonio is going to be working wide to come get Azeez Ojulari, and he doesn't, so he's unblocked into the backfield. Now, running back does do a good job of making Ojulari miss, and this was another hilarious rep from Wills. If you're not going to block the defensive lineman and you're going to pick up the nickel off the edge, at least touch the nickel on the edge.
Wow.
Like, this is kind of what I'm talking about, where like they're just very bad up front. I don't know if this was just an awful game for them or what, but like they're like have fundamental flaws where they just don't even look like they care at times, or at least from some of these guys, where you can get to there and you can get penetration in the backfield and end up making the play. Also on top of this, this is I think that BJ Davidson is his name. So this is their backup nose. So this is what kind of gives you hope. This is what I'm talking about against Pochich. Like Davidson's going to do a great job of winning with this little swim move across Pochich's face, like with a quick win. Now, granted, this is more of a pass rush situation again, since it's a draw, but if you're thinking about Adam Butler lining up, as a one technique, especially on those third downs, like this should give you some hope. And again, gets quick penetration, ends up getting involved in the tackle for loss and the draw. All right, so this one I believe is supposed to be an RPO, excuse me. And if I'm talking to Watson, I'm telling him to pull this and throw it, because you're going to see right here could have had a good chance. Mm-hmm. I also think they should probably get out of this, because the Giants very much overloaded the strong side of the formation. So again, I don't know why Watson didn't throw this, but like you'll see, like
he got the look he wanted.
I mean, they did to throw the flat, and then for some reason he hands it off, maybe because he didn't want to get crunched again. But like you can see, even here, like I think 41 is going to come unblocked, meet the running back in the hole, and it's a tackle for short gain because no one picks him up. There's a lot of plays like this where just guys are getting unblocked. Again, this is just kind of a bad read by Watson. And on top of it, too, like 93, that's I think Raheem Nunez-Roches, who's been a solid player throughout his career. Pretty good job against this combo block, this double team of Augie playing too, and making sure neither one of those guys can go off and block McFadden, number 41. And on top of it, too, Brian Burns is unblocked.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we'll get a look at it from the end zone view here. Again, Kirike here too, also going to come free. Yeah. A lot of guys that just don't get touched. I mean, yeah. You can beat these guys up front, man. You really can. Even with some backups. Like here's another. I think this is Nunez-Roches again, 93. Yeah. It's against Wyatt Teller, who injured, but I can't imagine his backup's much better or any better. Mm-hmm. But on this play specifically, like the reason why I want to include this is like, especially if we go back to that Chargers game, we've seen someone like Christian Wilkins do this, right, against even better competition where he can just win at the point of attack and control the block. But where I think having Wilkins helps is compared to someone like Nunez-Roches is doing his job by resetting the line of scrimmage and plugging up his gap and forcing the cutback. I like Wilkins to be able to shed this block right here and go make this tackle for a tackle for loss. But even so, because we get such a good job up front, and again, Dexter Lawrence, who's a monster, eats up the space against this double team, we get a free unblocked defender that can come in the box and make the tackle here. Also, DeJuan Jones trying to block in space. Again, please take advantage of this too, because he lets his running back get lit up by McFadden. So yeah, 79's on the field. We're attacking 79. We're going after that guy. Yeah, see, I don't know if I think it might have been because he was injured, but yeah, they threw in Hudson there at the end because they had enough.
They're like, we can't do this anymore.
We can't, dude. It was ugly. Another example here. Again, Nunez-Roches here. Dexter Lawrence, who's a stud, but you're going to see a great job of occupying guys at the line of scrimmage and taking on combo blocks. Like you'll see, we'll start here with Nunez-Roches. Like does get kicked at, or does get his shoulders turned a little bit, but he's physical enough to get hands on 71. Wills here, and that makes Wills like come off balance when he comes up to scrape over the top and pick up McFadden. McFadden just wins easy little rip move to go and get involved and get in the tackle. So again, great job eating up space. Then on the backside, Sexy Dexy. I mean, yeah, try 3 guys next time. That guy's a stud. But same thing. Like you can see, like plenty of examples of combo blocks just not working. And then on top of it too, we have Kayvon Thibodeau doing a great job against the tight end, getting physical and closing the gap with the man, leaving him no room. So a whole ton of room for these running backs to run. I think when I remove like the quarterback scrambles from Watson, the the Browns only averaged 3.5 yards per carry last week against the Giants. Last rep here again, Nunez Roaches. This going up against I think that's Pochik. Yeah, they must have moved Pochik out to left guard and brought in a new center with all their injuries. And basically kicked out Batonio, but same thing. Like, get into these guys. Like, you can do your job. You can reset the line of scrimmage against these guys. I think especially if the Raiders starters come to play, could be a good big week for Jenkins, for Butler, for Wilkins, and those guys on the interior. And then here too, one to highlight Ojulari. The Giants are gonna bring the nickel off the edge. Ojulari's given up quite a bit of size, never really been a good run defender either, but he's still able to get across Jones's face and then get in that B gap. Not a dominating rep by any means, but again, he's probably given up, like, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like 100 pounds right here to Juwan Jones, who's a big old boy. But again, you can still beat him and still get to your responsibility. And one more time, we got Isaiah Simmons coming off the edge, unblocked, making a tackle in the backfield. So I think that's the encouraging part. Even though the Raiders are beat up, they can definitely still get some penetration. Still plenty of opportunities to free up linebackers and get those unblocked tackles, at or near the line of scrimmage, and maybe even for loss. So they can take advantage of them. It's just a matter of being able to execute. Who can be who has the deeper depth chart, I guess, at the end of the day up front. So that'd be a big part of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the truth, man. I mean, the watching that, I mean, the Raiders, especially since they're so beat up, and they're probably, I mean, they got Pochik at guard this week. Are they gonna have to?
Let me see. He might be on the injured list too. No,
I was looking. I don't think he's on the injury list, but like, I mean, because Conklin's out. I mean, Juwan Jones is beat up. Willis is out. So they're gonna have to decide. I mean, James Hudson. I mean, he's beat up, but he's gonna play. So I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see how they make this work, especially how you see it at the end of the game. So
because they ended the game, like I said, with Batonio, who's a decent guard, playing left tackle, and like I said, sliding Poaches out. So I don't know what combination they're gonna go with, because again, I don't like. If I'm their coaching staff, I'm not putting Juwan Jones out there again. But again, if he is, they might have to, because you can hide one bad tackle on the bottom of the depth chart, but it's hard to hide it when you need two to start. So they have a good chance. The Raiders have a good chance to win in the trenches for this week for sure.
Yeah, because it's super interesting. Like because I'm about to go over the defense. I mean, I feel like there's like more hope this week with the Browns. This week we watched the film with the Panthers. Like, I was like, I mean, because I was like, if they can't run the ball, then they're gonna get their butt kicked. I really felt that way, because I'm like, they're not gonna be able to pass on this team, and that's what we saw.
It is funny how it worked out. Like too, like I mean, that was part of it. I'm like, you know what? Last week I did.
You're good. Dog break for us there.
Sorry. Sorry. Must have gotten a delivery. But now that was part of the reason why I wanted to do the O line. Is like last week I obviously highlighted Andy Dalton and Thielen, and they ended up going off. So I figured, hey, let's get some good juju going. We'll go over the positive and where the Raiders can dominate this time. So hopefully that comes to fruition.
Yeah, for sure, man. But yeah, it just shows, like, I mean, they still have some good players on the interior that I think they can disrupt this team, and they can control the run, and then they can get after Watson. And like I said, Watson's going to try to make a play. He's not gonna go down. He's not gonna dump it off. If there's pressure coming, like, I mean, Gardner Minshew does the same thing. Is that Watson can do it sometimes, where he could just spin out of something, and then you're upset because he's running around making a play. But he's not going to just like check it down. He's going to try to break that tackle because he thinks he can.
He wants to make the big plays. Yeah,
exactly. He thinks he can, and he has before, but it's not going to work out how he always wants to. So you got to take advantage of it. They got to tackle him though. They can't mess around and not tackle him, because that could be an issue too. All right, let's get into this Browns defense here. All right, so we're gonna start off with Joker here, who is gonna be some great film to watch here. This is I would say, like, if you had a kid playing linebacker, this is what you want him to play like. You should show him this video I'm about to do right here, because this is just textbook right here. Him taking on the center, hands inside, shed him, knock him on the ground, make the tackle. So I mean, this is what you got to worry about. I mean,
They line it up and
the
Mike too.
Giants defense line's not getting a lot of push, but he's just a beast, man. He's a beast. So it's gonna be tough to run the ball. Like here's another one. He's just beats the tackle here. The tackle's trying to get to the second level on him. He just dips under that with a nice little like kind of basically a rip move, and he makes the tackle in the backfield for a loss. Watch overtime here, just right there. He just beats that tackle inside quick. Boom, tackle for a loss. Perfect tackle. Head up. Do a little dance afterwards. He's just a beast, man. just watching this, like he's a beast, literally. Like bam, right there. Look at that perfect tackle. Look at that.
That's textbook right there.
That's textbook. That's how you tackle. That's what I said. You got a kid that plays linebacker. You should just show him this little clip I got here. Right here. Get him right. Here he is taking on a tight end. So I'm watching here. They do like to blitz these guys a lot. So you send them the blitz. The blitz Joker here. He just boom, just knocks this dude over. Right, yeah. Knocks him to the ground. The tight end is done, and he just goes and he makes a tackle for a loss. He's going to do this. Like this is something like you really can't get upset about and be like, okay, we try to stop him. Like he's gonna make these plays no matter where they're gonna blitz him. He's gonna make these type of run plays, and that's why it's gonna be tough to run the ball on these guys. And the Raiders can't run the ball, so it's gonna be even tougher to run the ball on these guys. All right. And then you see him here one more time taking on another tight end, just go right by him with a little bend, and then textbook tackle, boom, head up, shoulder. Like, look at that. You can't, a tight end's not going to block him.
Yeah.
I don't even know if a guard could block him one-on-one at this point. So much one more time, man. He's just a beast. Slide right in there. Tackle, boom, and then they like to send Hicks and Joker on blitzes here. So you're going to see them. Joker's going to come around this way. You're going to see Hicks come this way right here on this blitz. Right, so he's come inside there, and then what they like to do as well. You see how they get the lineman to set up the blitz so they see 92. He's coming this way here. Right, that gives the opening. And then you got Joker coming around this way that takes his guard out, and then they're getting play action, so they're getting a pull, which makes it even easier here. And there's just a free lane for Hicks there. And you can get a hold.
But he's up to look because you got the back and the left guard blocking the same guy with that little twist.
Get him out. I just want to see Daniel Jones play pretty good in this game. I just want to say that. I was like, is this guy good? I don't know if you are, but you look pretty damn good at this game. I'm not gonna lie. All right. See, here's another blitz here with him and Hicks. And you see what this does. This opens up 54 here. Ogbo outside. And then you have a stunt around with it with 72. Which then gives a free lane. So, I mean, he's supposed to block this guy inside. Joker brings him up, and that guy, just a free rusher.
Yeah.
Hit on Daniel Jones. So, I mean, they got some exotic blitzes, too. They're going to blitz Minshew. They're going to blitz the hell out of Minshew. They're probably going to try to do the same thing they did to him last year when they forced 3 fumbles. Because even if you're like, okay, it's a different scheme, the way you attack him is not any different. So here's a different blitz too, where they're going to send Delpit and they're going to send Newsome off the edge here. And I'm going to show it on the back end how see how the defenses shift here. They all rush to their left, which is going to open up Newsome with a free rusher. And then you see the zone coverage. You see Joker. He's getting out to the flat there, playing that cover 3 behind it. There's nobody really open here. And if he's lucky, Daniel Jones is lucky this is not the 90s because Newsome lets up. He would get if this is the 90s, it would be out the game. And cracked rib. It's over. But what they do is even when he kind of slows up, it forces him to throw the ball, get an interception here.
Yeah, they kind of trapped him into that throw.
Mm-hmm. So they do some great looks here. They're giving a lot of different looks, a lot of blitzes. And you see how the defensive line sets this up as well. And then Delpit coming off the other side. Right. You see 54. He opens this up. Him coming inside opens up this corner blitz. Right. And they did a good job of disguising it. But yeah, this is what I'm saying. If this was the 90s, he is that's why they used to wear rib protectors. Right here, look at that. Watch him. See how he slows up. Like, could you imagine if he did it?
He'd be on jacked up.
That's the modern NFL, is him slowing up right there. All right, so then you got Denzel Ward outside. He's Denzel Ward. I'm not gonna do too much. Look at this rep. Just versatile move, patient, stays in phase there. Nothing. And that's against a pretty fast guy in Gabe Davis. That's his job, is to win deep. And look at him, just trust himself. Great play. Find the ball. I think if that was underthrown as a pick. Great coverage right here. And then you see him in man coverage right here against Gabe Davis again. And you see here, he trusts his speed, and then watch how he gets physical at the top of route here. Almost picks it off. So basically, I'm going to show these two plays and just say, do not throw to this guy. There's really no point, in my opinion. There's so many other guys to throw to in this. I mean, you just don't have to throw to him. There's really no point. I don't see why you should.
The Namdi Osmo rule.
Yeah, I mean, there's just really just no point. I just don't see why you should throw the ball at his direction. Like, they play so much man that it's just really no point. And we don't have Devontae. If I had Devontae, okay, I would say, okay, throw at him because he'd follow Devontae. But we don't have Devontae, so there's really no point. Let's just avoid him. We could attack Emerson here, right? Emerson is a guy that they should be attacking. We're talking about DeJuan Jones. You got to go after Emerson here. And this is what you could do against man coverage too. Is you can get these, like they run this simple slant fat, but you see how you get a little pick here from the way the release Malik Neighbors does the release. And then you're getting Wanda Robinson. You can say this is Trey Tucker. You get him out of space here, change the direction. You get 11. All right.
I kind of like doing that with Brock Bowers.
Yeah, you can do it with Brock Bowers too.
Like, let him make that, like, give him an advantage and let him make Emerson miss in space.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then what you're going to get, like I said, you get a lot of man-to-man in this game, and what you're going to get is these slot fades are just there, right? And you can run this with Jacoby Myers, you can run this with Brock Bowers, you can run this with Trey Tucker. You can mix it up, get these guys inside, right? And you're going to get a one-on-one versus Emerson here, right? And you see Malik Neighbors just works him here and gets great separations, a bad throw. But this is how you can attack the Browns. And you got to get rid of this ball quick. And, Myles Garrett's not on the field right now. As I said, he's not going to play a lot of snaps. This is when you got to take these shots.
Yeah.
When you feel like you have a little bit of advantage of the offensive line. Because the Raiders haven't been terrible in pass protection. They've been solid. So if you have a little bit of advantage with the offensive line, you don't have Myles Garrett in the game, you could take advantage of these shots. You could take this, like, the slot fade. It's here. It's right there. Every Raiders player I just named, Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker, Brock Bowers, can all win against Emerson, I believe. Especially, we talked about Trey Tucker and press coverage. If they have this look and they can get a slot fade with Trey Tucker, it could be 6. I mean, shit, with Myers, it could be 6, to be honest. And then here you go, attacking Emerson again. You got Emerson right here inside. They're playing more zone coverage on this one. And, you talk about Joker and coverage. See Joker at the top here. Here he is against Malik Neighbors. So, yeah, he can guard Brock Bowers. And then you see Wanda Robinson is able to cross face on Emerson in zone, and he gives us a catch. So, I mean, you could beat Emerson in man coverage. Here's another one. You got to attack 0. That's really how this goes. I mean, they're playing more cover 3 on this one, but you can attack him. They're going to go deep on him. And, he's not very physical at the catch point there. You can say it's a little bit of pass, maybe offensive pass interference, a little bit from Thomas, but this is what I'm talking about. You could attack this guy. That's what you got to do. You got to go after him. There's really no reason to throw this award. I just don't see the point. And then you have Emerson out here too. You can beat Emerson. Emerson's a ball hawk though. If you make a mistake, he will pick it. Well, you can beat him. What, Emerson?
23 is Newsom, right?
No, that's 0 is Newsom.
Oh, okay.
Was I saying Emerson? My
Gotcha.
bad.
Yeah, you're good.
My bad. See, I knew that I was gonna do that before. But you want to attack Newsom. Newsom's 0. Emerson's 23. All right, my bad. So here we go. But you can attack Emerson too. My bad, dude. See, I knew I was gonna do that before I was filming this show. I'm gonna mix these guys up. Watch. So you can find Emerson here. So yeah, attack Newsom, which is 0. Attack Emerson 23. That's really what you got to do this game. And then because Colt Miller's gonna get beat, guys. All right. I just want to start this and say we gotta be nice to Colt Miller this week. Okay. I know you're like Colt Miller's not having a good year. I think I think he had a better week last week, but he's going to get beat this week. Okay. Like it's gonna happen. And I don't know what to do because Andrew Thomas is a top 5 tackle, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And look at just Myles Garrett with his jab step. Just go right by him, right? Get pressure.
Crazy thing.
Go ahead.
The crazy thing into me is that wasn't even that bad of an overset. Like he just won inside because he's got those long ass legs and can cover ground when moving laterally. That's crazy. Guy's such a freak.
I know. So yeah, this is what we're gonna see this week, guys. He's gonna get beat. Like it's gonna happen. He's gonna lose. Here's another one. This is a spin move. This is actually a great throw by Daniel Jones. He just spins right past him.
God, man.
This is what I'm saying. Like I'm not even playing this game. This film kind of gave me nightmares. Because that's a great tackle, man. That's a great tackle.
Got him leaning.
You just gotta lead a little bit. Because you can see what he does really well is that he gets his body inside of him too. So you can see he gets his full body in there and then spins off him. Because if he just tried to spin move on Thomas, I think Thomas would be able to kind of hang with him a little bit, but he gets Thomas right exactly to bend it a little bit too much. He gets inside of him and then spins off with a little physicality with the spin.
Also, watch that. If you want to rewind that, this if you're teaching, if you have a son that's playing defensive end, this is a perfect ice pick with the let it go for a little bit with his outside arm. If you watch, it's going to knock down his elbow. Perfect. That is perfect. That was a textbook spin move right there.
He even mixes it with the chop too, like he's going to chop too.
Yeah.
Hit it with the spin. Good Lord, man. And then I'm gonna show you everything here. Just some power. This is a power rush this time. Right, got his hands inside. And then, Thomas does a good job. He's like, okay, I'm going to anchor a little bit. And he's like, oh, fine. You want to anchor? I'm just going to throw you down.
Little push pull.
Push me, exactly. Look at this. Oh, all right. Oh, no. Daniel Jones.
Push pull.
I mean, it's a great play, Mike. Daniel Jones played really well, man. And that's what Minshew's going to have to do. I just don't know if he's going to do this. Minshew might try to run. If he saw this, he might try to run away from him. And that he just can't. You can't do that. You got to stand in here and be like, I'm going to get hit. You got to make this throw. It's a great throw from Daniel Jones. It's not a great throw, but it's a great throw for the situation. Like, he could have just cowered and. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then here you finish off with a little ghost. And then wrap around here. And then this is what Minshew cannot do, right? Is fumble, which he will knock the ball out. Okay. He forces fumbles. I don't know. I feel like he gets like 7 or 8 a year where he's going to force a fumble. And that's one thing he does really well. He got 3 last year against Minshew. You cannot fumble. You got to, you know what I mean? He's going to attack that ball.
Yeah.
If you're a quarterback that has a tendency of letting that ball and fumbling, he's going to attack you that way. So, yeah, that's the Browns defense. Like I said, you can attack Emerson and Newsom, which, I'm pretty sure there's probably some Browns fans like, you can't get the names right. My bad. 0's Newsom, 23's Emerson, right? You want to attack Newsom and Emerson. Like I said, but if the thing is with Emerson, if you miss or if you're late, Emerson will pick it. That's the thing with him. But you can beat him. Is that? But he has great ball skills. He's pretty damn good ball skills. He'll get some picks on you.
Yeah.
And but Newsom, you can beat him. You got to attack him. So I think they got to avoid Denzel Ward. Know that Myles Garrett's going to get his. Like you're not going to be able to stop him. It's just not. It's. I mean, you could do some chips, get him help. I don't know if how much that's really going to help too much, because he's going to win. I mean, like that's the thing. Like I don't know what his win percentage is, but it's like always in the 25% and stuff like that. He's going to win. So that means every 4 rushes, he's going to win. And it really doesn't matter who you put out there. You can have the best left tackle in the league. Like
what? Yeah. Just watching him and like the body type, like there's like him comparing him to like Bruce Smith, like it's just I feel like it's like just so perfect. Like it sometimes it really looks like him reincarnated. Like
he's so
insane.
I even show him against the run. He plays the run pretty well too. I was like, wow, like he's just we're not going to stop him. And when he's not on the field, though, because that's the thing, they will take him out because he's beat up too. Even last year, he doesn't play like the snaps that Crosby plays. He's not going to play like Max Crosby does. So when he's not on the field, you have to take advantage of that. I mean, it's like paramount. Like it is. If you don't, like, you might have 3 forced fumbles again, and that's what Minshew has to devolve. He has to not evolve. He has to kind of be ready for, is that he's got to be able to hold on to that football. If he doesn't, it's going to get ugly. And the Browns are going to be set up to beat down the Raiders if he doesn't hold on to the football. He's got to not turn the ball over this game. It's important because that's what Myles Garrett, he's going for the football. Like he's going to try to knock the ball out and make a play. So, yeah, it's important to stop him, but you just got to attack Emerson and Newsom, and they got the weapons to do it. Minshew's got to really read the field. It's going to be man to man, so it's not going to be too crazy for him this game. It's not going to be zone like he's been seeing. So hopefully, I mean, he played well against them last year.
The bad plays.
He just fumbled. He threw 4 turnovers.
Can't have that.
Can't have that. You're not going to run away from Myles Garrett. I just hope he knows that. You got to just throw the ball and take the hit because you're not going to run away from him. So
yeah,
man. So any last thoughts, Matt?
I mean, we'll see how it goes out. I mean, like I said, I think with all the injuries on both sides, it brings some invites some like a little bit of like, I don't know, struggling to come up with the word, but like unexpected unpredictability about the game. So I don't know, maybe Miles more banged up than we realize right now, or he realizes right now. But yeah, it'll be an interesting one, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be. I think it's going to be a close game, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, the Raiders can get these wide receivers open. I think they got a chance to score some points still, but it's going to be on Minshew a little bit to kind of see those things and make those throws for sure.
For sure.
All right, guys. So we're out of here with the preview. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys get you ready for the football game tomorrow. See how the Raiders perform. I know people have been freaking out. It's like, fire AP all week. I've been seeing it. We're done with the Raiders, but hopefully they can bounce back this week. They are missing Max Crosby and Devontae Adams, but we'll see how this game goes. But hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. We are out of here. Peace.